The year is 2024. The world watches with anticipation. Donald J. Trump, aiming for a second term, could once again become President of the United States. This potential turn of events could send ripples across the globe. Financial markets brace for impact, with stocks and the US dollar poised for volatility. Uncertainty looms large. The world, especially India and China, waits to see how Trump's presidency could reshape international relations, trade policies, and the global economy. India, a rising economic power, observes the changing dynamics with a cautious eye. Trump's America. First rhetoric raises concerns about potential disruptions to trade relations. The US is a major trading partner for India, and any significant shift in policy could have profound implications. Indian businesses and policymakers closely monitor the situation, formulating strategies to adapt to the evolving global trade environment. China, the world's second-largest economy, also feels the tremors of Trump's victory. The US-China trade relationship, already complex, enters a period of heightened tension. Trump's campaign promises to label China a currency manipulator and impose tariffs on Chinese goods, create anxieties about a potential trade war. China responds with a mix of caution and assertiveness, seeking to protect its interests while navigating the uncertain terrain of US-China relations. The initial reaction in global financial markets is one of uncertainty and volatility. Stock markets around the world experience fluctuations as investors grapple with the implications of Trump's presidency. The US dollar, a global reserve currency, sees its value fluctuate as traders assess the potential impact of Trump's economic policies. This period of market turbulence reflects the broader sense of unease and anticipation that characterizes the early days of Trump's presidency. Section 5, Protectionist Walls Rise Trade Policy, takes center stage. One of the most significant aspects of Trump's presidency is his focus on trade policy. From the very beginning, Trump made it clear that he intended to reshape the way America engaged with the global economy. His administration's approach was characterized by a strong stance against what he perceived as unfair trade practices. Trump, a vocal critic of globalization, promises to renegotiate trade deals and protect American jobs. He argued that previous trade agreements had disadvantaged American workers and industries, leading to job losses and economic decline in certain sectors. His America First policy aimed to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States and reduce the trade deficit. He withdraws the US from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a major trade agreement involving Pacific Rim countries. This move was seen as a significant shift in US trade policy, signaling a retreat from multilateral trade agreements in favor of bilateral deals. The decision was met with mixed reactions, with some praising it as a step towards protecting American interests, while others warned of potential economic isolation. Trump also imposes tariffs on goods from China, sparking a trade war between the world's two largest economies. The tariffs targeted a wide range of products, from steel and aluminum to electronics and consumer goods. This escalation led to retaliatory tariffs from China, affecting American farmers and manufacturers. The trade war created uncertainty in global markets and disrupted supply chains. These protectionist measures have far-reaching consequences for global trade and investment flows. The impact of the trade war extended beyond the US and China, influencing global trade patterns and economic growth. Analysts and economists debated the long-term effects, with some predicting a shift towards regional trade agreements and others warning of a potential slowdown in global economic activity. The legacy of Trump's trade policy continues to shape discussions on international trade and economic strategy. Section 6. Short-term shocks, immediate impacts on global trade. Trump's trade policies, marked by tariffs and barriers, disrupt global trade. Cargo ships face delays and international trade containers encounter new regulations and higher costs. The global trade map now shows strain and fragmentation. The trade war with China disrupts supply chains, increasing costs for businesses and consumers. Factories face interruptions, leading to production delays. Business owners grapple with uncertainty and rising expenses. Uncertainty in trade policy makes businesses hesitant to invest. potentially slowing economic growth. Executives re-evaluate strategies, cautious of sudden policy shifts, stifling innovation and growth. The WTO faces challenges as the rules-based trading system strains. Debates among member countries highlight growing divisions. The WTO strives to maintain order in a complex landscape. The short-term consequences of Trump's trade policies are clear, but long-term effects remain uncertain. Economists debate potential outcomes with concerns about the future of global trade. Section 7, the long view, predicting the future of global economics. Predicting the long-term economic impact of Trump's presidency is a complex task. His administration's policies have been both praised and criticized, creating a polarized view of their potential outcomes. On one hand, supporters argue that his focus on deregulation and tax cuts could stimulate business growth and innovation. They believe that reducing the burden on corporations will lead to increased investments, job creation, and a more robust economy. Some argue that his policies, while disruptive in the short term, could lead to a more balanced and equitable global trading system in the long run. They point to the renegotiation of trade deals, such as the USMCA, as steps towards fairer trade practices. These changes, they claim, could correct imbalances that have long favored other nations at the expense of American workers and industries. Others fear that his protectionist measures will stifle global trade, harm economic growth, and lead to a more fragmented and less prosperous world. Critics argue that tariffs and trade wars could disrupt international supply chains, increase costs for consumers, and provoke retaliatory measures from other countries. This, they warn, could lead to economic isolation and a decline in global cooperation. Only time will tell what the ultimate legacy of Trump's economic policies will be. The true impact of these policies may not be fully understood for years, as the global economy continues to evolve and adapt. Economists and policymakers will be closely watching key indicators such as GDP growth, employment rates, and trade balances to assess the long-term effects. As we look to the future, it is clear that the debate over the merits and drawbacks of these policies will continue to shape discussions on global economics for years to come. Section 8. India and China, a tale of two economies in transition. India and China, both major players in the global economy, navigate the turbulent waters of the Trump era. India, while facing challenges, seeks to diversify its trading partners and strengthen its domestic economy. China, feeling the pressure of the trade war, looks to reduce its reliance on the US market and foster closer ties with other countries. Both countries are undergoing significant economic transformations, adapting to the shifting global landscape. Gap 3S. Donald Trump was officially inaugurated as president on January 21, 2025. This chapter explores the events leading up to his election and the immediate reactions from around the world. The 2024 election was one of the most contentious in American history. With a deeply polarized electorate, the campaign saw unprecedented levels of voter engagement and turnout. Trump's message of economic nationalism resonated with many Americans, leading to his victory. Global markets reacted with a mix of trepidation and anticipation. In Europe, leaders expressed concerns over potential disruptions to trade agreements. In Asia, the focus shifted to how Trump's policies would impact their economies. The global economic order has been shaken and the rules of the game have changed. The full impact of Trump's policies will continue to unfold for years to come. Section 9. A world transformed, the enduring legacy of Trump's term. As Trump's presidency comes to an end, the world grapples with its enduring legacy. The global economic order has been shaken, and the rules of the game have changed. The relationship between the United States and its trading partners, particularly China, has been fundamentally altered. The full impact of Trump's policies will continue to unfold for years to come, shaping the contours of the 21st century global economy.